Well, welcome on this beautiful day. Isn't it lovely? Yes. Thank you all for coming. There's people coming from all over the world, but mainly the area. The reason for today's event is that on the 24th of June 1940, King Zog and Queen Geraldine and the Albanian royal family boarded a ship from France and came to England to spend their exile here. They lived in London for a short time, then moved to Ascot, and then at the end of 1941 came to live at this house, Parmoor House. And they lived here through most of the war, and even after the war to the beginning of 1946, when they boarded a ship and went to Egypt. So this was the house where they spent most of the war in exile. And the house, and you'll get to see it today if you haven't looked already, hasn't changed very much since those days. So you really are walking in the footsteps of King Zog when you come here. I'm now going to ask His Royal Highness Prince Lecker to come and unveil this new plaque on the house.
Honestly, this is a very remarkable day. We've been blessed with wonderful weather. But what is wonderful is the fact that in this part of England, Albania has a special and significant relationship. A relationship which I hope through the years will be strengthened. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Rees and his partners and friends for doing an excellent job in helping Albania and England to get together, to strengthen its relationships and to remember a small part of our history, which is very, very important for us all. Thank you very much.
I now introduce, this is the Deputy Lord Lieutenant of Buckinghamshire, who's now going to say a few words.
Your Royal Highness, Ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, Merevenges. For those of you who don't speak Albanian, that's the one word I know, which is actually good morning. And apparently I fooled someone by actually being able to pronounce it correctly, and they thought I was from Albania. And then, but it became impossible for us to discuss things after that. First of all, let me say on behalf of the Lord Lieutenant, Sir Henry Aubrey Mobbs, apologies from him for not being able to be here with you on this auspicious day. He really does send his sincere apologies and hopes that you have a very pleasant and successful day. Buckinghamshire has a long history of actually offering succour and refuge to people who have been under threat, under political pressure and real danger in their own countries. Going back as far as Louis XVIII, who in fact set up court, for some of you who may not know, at Hartwell House. And then of course we come right down through Buckinghamshire to Parmoor House, where your grandfather came and found peace and joy, I hope, escaping from a fascist state and the Nazi jackboot. As I say, Buckinghamshire has a long history of giving refuge, but also has a long history during the Second World War. Not only did we give refuge to King Zog, but I believe Queen Wilhelmina was just across the road. We also had in Buckinghamshire the Czech Prime Minister and other governments situated here. Of course, its main role, the biggest role actually during the Second World War, was the home of Bletchley Park, which, according to Churchill, shortened the war by 2 years through the code-breaking activities that went on there. Then, of course, we have Chequers, which is the Prime Minister's country home, as most of you will know, and in fact was used a great deal by Churchill. And then one of the biggest events took place, the planning of D-Day. General Eisenhower was based in High Wycombe at what is now Wycombe Abbey School. So with that history in mind, it's wonderful, I feel, that we have a descendant of King Sol able to come here. It must be wonderful for him to be able to actually touch history, because this is what he is able to do in this house. He is able to visit areas and to touch things that his ancestors actually felt and touched. And it must be a wonderful experience. As I say, on behalf of the Lord Lieutenant, welcome, and may I offer you a small gift as a memento of your visit, and hope you
If you want.
How's that? How's that?
That all right?
In your handles. That's right.
Okay, thank you.